Welcome back to the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be breaking down the 10 wonders of the Alola region. We've been doing this for several regions now. You know the drill. It all started in Scarlet and Violet, and we're giving it to every other region. First off, let's start strong with Alola, the Altar of the Sun or the Altar of the Moon, depending on the game that you play. This is the altar that you get to at the game's climax at the end of the vast Pony Canyon. This is where you will actually find an ultra wormhole that in Sun and Moon will take you to the little realm where Nihilego lives and will take you through ultra space and allow you to hop around all kinds of different ultra areas in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. This monument's stunning. It is just, honestly, it's gorgeous. And to think that it's so ancient too, it was built by ancient people. It's been there for goodness knows how long. This is just such an impressive feature, and its connection to Ultra Space and to Solgaleo, Lunala, and Necrozma is so important. Absolutely, this one has to be on everyone's, I think, wonders list for Alola. Now, let's just walk backwards from the islands, why don't we? We're in Pony right now, so let's stay there. So next, we have the Battle Tree. The Battle Tree is... I don't think people quite put this into perspective. I know this is a little bit different for us to have a battle facility on our list of wonders, but this is a tree that you can climb up and have battles on. This is a giant tree, y'all. This is some Animal Kingdom stuff. I greatly appreciate anybody who got that reference. I love Disney so much. But yeah, the Battle Tree is such a huge, impressive tree. It's a perfect example of how Alola blends nature into everything, right? They're so one with nature. And then also, it must be a pretty good battle facility because it's attracting trainers from Kanto, from Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, so it's an impressive feat. That just goes without needing to be said. Another place that took my breath away when I was playing through Sun and Moon for the very first time was the Seafolk Village. The Seafolk Village is a little port village that you will encounter on Pony Island, where there's all kinds of different people who fare through here. And, there's even a lot to be speculated about the kind of people that have come through here in the past. Potentially the Draconids from Hoenn have come through here, and goodness knows who else. I mean, this is such a rich and culture and history village here, the Seafolk Village, and also there's the fact that the boats there are really freaking cool too. I mean, look at these things. I just love that. This was such a cool place to get to. Yeah, I mean, what more can I say? The Seafolk Village is wonderful. Now, this one, I might get a little bit of some contradiction on, but the Aether Paradise would be next on my list. The Aether Paradise is an artificial island, so it's not one of Alola's official islands, but it is an artificial island in the Alola region, and it's an impressive structure in itself. There's a lot of research that goes on here. You figure not only do they have a conservation center to, help nurse wild Pokemon back to health and, take in maybe endangered species and all, but then they're also doing work on Ultra Beasts too, right? They're studying Ultra Wormholes, they're inventing the Beast Ball, they're, doing research on specific Ultra Beasts like Nihilego, and they're even creating Pokemon. I mean, these guys created Type Null and thus Silvally, so, I mean, this place is so cool. This is a very important structure, not only to the Alola region because it's conserving the wildlife of the Alola region, but also to the entire world of Pokemon with its studies on Ultra Beasts and its, creation of a brand new Pokemon, which, by the way, we don't talk about how cool this thing is. Look at this thing. This is one of the coolest things ever. I love this thing so much. But yeah, that aside, Alola's Aether Paradise would be a big deal in the Pokemon world, let alone the Alola region. Going over to Ula Ula Island, we have, first off, Melemele Garden. Melemele Garden is so pretty. I mean, it's where I live, there's actually an arboretum pretty close to me, and it's got a whole Japanese Zen garden aesthetic, and it is really cool. And just to imagine the Melemele Garden, which obviously seems to do it even better, that's just so neat. It's also in the shape of a Gyarados. Don't know if any of y'all knew that, but yeah, Melemele Garden's in the shape of a Gyarados. And even aside from that, it's a very beautiful representation of the relationship that the Alola region has with the Kanto and Johto regions, as Melee City and Melemele Garden was established by travelers from the Kanto and Johto regions. This also is kind of in the real world a big deal too, because Hawaii, which obviously is where Alola is based off of, has a really close relationship to Japan, which of course is where Kanto and Johto take place in. So it's a nice little nod to that real life relationship that those two, or that state and that country have. How can you have a snowy mountain in Hawaii? I don't know, but the people of Alola pulled it off. Mount Lanakila is all natural and is this giant Everest-like mountain just right there in the middle of the tropical Alola region and the island of Ula Ula specifically. So that right there should be enough to give it a wonder. But also, this is the site of the Pokemon League, which, you know, is pretty big to the Alolan culture since it's relatively new. And also, I think by, you know, in, say, a remake of Sun and Moon, saying that Mount Lanakila is one of the wonders of Alola would kind of make Kukui's reasoning of putting a league there make even more sense. You know, it's a beautiful spot. It's a snowy mountain in the middle of the Alola region and home to some of the coolest variants ever in Alolan Vulpix and Alolan Sandshrew. So, yeah, this one's absolutely going to be on the list. Heading back over to Akala Island, we have 3, and these are the 3 kind of, I guess, main trials that you encounter on Akala Island. This is Brooklet Hill, Waila Volcano, and Lush Jungle. Let's get into each one. Brooklet Hill. If you've been watching this series for a while now, you know that I'm a sucker for waterfalls, and Brooklet Hill has so many beautiful cascading waterfalls, and it's the perfect place. I really, really want to see this place in, like, not in 3D, because Sun and Moon is 3D, but in the style of Sword and Shield, or Scarlet and Violet, or Legends Arceus, or even Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I feel like this place would just be... Imagine the way that the colors would pop in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. This place is so incredible. One of my favorite spots in the Alola region, if not my favorite spot in the Alola region. As for Waila Volcano, I mean, you know, volcanoes are just impressive in themselves, right? Like, here's this thing that the people will situate around, and, you know, they'll kind of, not like praise like worship, but they'll praise it like it's a big deal to them. And at any point, it could destroy everything. You know, so much power in such a beautiful and tall and just rugged looking thing. You know, volcanoes are just so, they're that perfect mix of beautiful and violent, and I just think volcanoes are great. And Waila Volcano part, I think, is the perfect fit for a wonder for Alola. The Lush Jungle also has to be on this list. In my opinion, the Lush Jungle is gorgeous. It's another place that I'd love to see in the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee art style, because you know the colors would just pop. And yeah, what can I say? Have you seen Hawaiian jungles? That's what the Lush Jungle would look like in real life. So yeah, it's a wonder, absolutely. Now, before we go to our last wonder in Melemele Island, we do have to touch on the meadows of the Alola region. You have a meadow on each of the islands, the Melemele Meadow, the Pony Meadow, the Ula Ula Meadow, and the Akala Meadow, and all of these are genuinely very pretty. Actually, now that I think about it, is there an Akala Meadow? It doesn't matter. The point is that it actually doesn't have a meadow, but the point is that the other meadows, the Pony, Ula Ula, and Melemele meadows, are gorgeous. Especially the Ula Ula one is really, really, like, pretty and just kind of dark and sinister too. I also do love the Pony one, but I felt like I couldn't include one without including all 3, and I don't want to take up 3 spots with 3 variations of a meadow, you know? So that's why ultimately I did not go with the meadows, but if you have the meadows on your list, I definitely don't blame you. And on that note, be sure that you drop your list in the comments below. Now, for our last place on Melemele Island, we have the Mahalo Trail. This is right above Iki Town, and how you make your way to the temple where Tapu Koko resides. This spot is so pretty. I remember, like, when I first played the game, it's one of the first areas you go to, and you have those, like, tiki statues everywhere, and it was the most, like, you're in Hawaii that, like, they gave us at the beginning of the game. I loved it. Hawaii is a big bucket list place of mine, and it's also, I mean, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. So a place that gives those heavy Hawaiian vibes absolutely has to be on the list of wonders, and that's why Mahalo Trail makes mine. Be sure to let me know what you think of my list. Be sure to drop your list in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss all our future videos. And until next time, I will see all of you later.